Well, hello everyone, Rod Cullerton. I just wanted to do a live. First of all, I want to wish every Australian Merry Christmas, but more importantly, our members. Look, I've got my call flute up just so that people understand where I'm coming from, and I hope I'm not interrupting any important family time. But I do feel like a live is needed, and I just want to keep taking people through the steps that I'm doing as the dog in the fight, okay, so that the Australian people throughout the Commonwealth get an understanding of what's going on. For those who have supported me, thank you, I really appreciate it, and ones that have signed up to be bona fide members of our unincorporated party, I commend you, because many hands make light work. But let me I want to take you to this first. This is how we get remedy. Okay, now look, a Great Australian Party is an unincorporated party. Okay, it hasn't, it's not up with ASIC, it's unincorporated. Now, when I say unincorporated, when I went to you to vote, you can see it's all in English, no uppercase, right? So there I am, the Great Australian Party, Senate WA, there you go, all right? So for the Great Australian people. But when I come over to how your major parties are offering for you to go and vote for them, you can see that the surname is in all uppercase, which means they're putting you into commas. So Rod Cullerton goes in to defend you under your constitution, which is the founding deed of this great nation, yet these ones here, for the major parties, go in under commerce. So they claim that they represent you, but when you go in and you vote for them, well then you are effectively allowing them to operate in commerce, which takes you away from your constitutional guarantees and founding laws that are for our protection throughout this great nation. And we should be all the beneficiaries of our country. And like I've said in previous interviews, why do we need a driver's license to drive on property that is rightfully ours? Like, all roads are Commonwealth jurisdiction, so why do we need a license? So there we go. But look, what I want to do is take you to another matter, and I'll just swing it around now. Hi everyone. I want to take you to another matter. So I've got two matters. I'm going well with the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecutions against the Australian Electoral Commission, and I'll give more of an update on that soon. But the other one is the alleged border incident. Coming home, politically campaigning, travelling this great one self-governing colony, and got hassled at a pretended border as the WA South Australian border by Mark McGowan. Now, done is, so basically I've just received a whole pile of brief evidence evidence brief by the West Australian Police. What is really standing out is jurisdiction. So here we go. Because I'm travelling throughout the Commonwealth, saying to the court, I don't want to be done under commerce, I want to be done under common law, which is my rightful law. There's only one law, and all laws are subject to the law that I want to be dealt with. And that's posing a real problem. And I've taken a recording, and I will say that the Australian Federal Police have tried to shut my live streams down. They tried to get a bail on me, which I succeeded, and told the magistrate, why would I need bail when I'm attending the court on a conditional appearance until jurisdiction is established. You know, if I'm going under commerce, I'm appearing as the beneficiary, an entity that they claim they have administration over. Or if I'm being dealt with under Clause 5 of the Constitution, hey, I'm happy to go forward and have the Constitution on my side, because it is the Constitution that runs our country. It creates the Parliament, and I also know that Labor wants to go to a referendum. Well, we need to get everyone back into the private, and which is back under our constitution, and not in the commerce, which is the public, where we're all being dealt with and paying through the nose to just live every day and being told by corporations how we need to run our own country, which is just an absolute nonsense, because, as you know, corporation doesn't have a set of lungs, a heart or a mind. It's just something that's written by someone who wants to create something and register it on some other corporations' registered list. So, but look, I want to take you through this one because you'll like this, because I'm quite proud of it, really. I like to put my money where my mouth is and show you what has happened, and this is it here. So I'm going to take you through it because it's about jurisdiction. Now, what happened was I made an application to this. So we're getting back to, this is the border issue. So I'll take you around now. So there we are. So what I've done is I made an application to have Mark McGowan, who's the pretending Premier here in Western Australia, and Dr. Andy Robinson to come in as a witness to our, you can see there, okay, witness summons. Now, a so-called registrar at the Kalgoorlie court decided to say we couldn't have these guys, these two jokers, which is they're crucial witnesses for our defence, of course. I mean, these are the guys that made all these hideous instructions on us. But I'll take you through a video. I'll take you through the recording, and I'd like you to listen to it because it was refused on the grounds of likely being vexatious. I don't know how they come to that, but anyway, it's a hard gig to get the boys, you know, in the room. But let me take you for a recording. Yeah, please.
Mercy speaking.
Rod Cullerton, thanks.
Rod Cullerton, did you say?
Yes, thank you.
And what's it in regards to?
Just in relation to for witnesses for our case on the 9th of January.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's come back to us, so.
Oh, okay. So he's responded to something.
Yeah.
Calling him.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Just so I know, so I can just let him
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just wait.
yeah.
I'll just see if he's upstairs. Wait a moment. Rod, you there?
Yeah. Okay. So what happened there is I just edited it out because I was put on hold for a while, but she's come back to me.
He's appearing not to be answering his phone. Can I get him to call you back?
What do you reckon? He's gone to lunch. It's 11:58.
He may possibly have went to lunch. I can't physically see him because he's upstairs in his office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if he's gone to lunch or he's in the
So
building.
can I ask? I'm just a little bit confused. Just hear me out. He
Yeah,
sent
okay.
through a 1B form or a form 14. I've just contacted King's Counsel in the East Coast just to get some legal advice. Is Ashley Holland a bona fide registrar, or is he a clerk of courts? Is he actually a registrar at law?
So he's our regional manager, so he would have delegations as a registrar.
Okay, so he is a registrar at law.
So he's our regional manager.
Yeah, but is he a registrar at law? Like when you go to the Supreme Court, they have a registrar that sits on cases and so forth.
Yeah, okay, actually he's calling me now. So just give me one moment.
Thank you. Okay, so it's amazing when I put this employee of the court to the test that all of a sudden he was available. So we'll continue on.
Hello, Ashley speaking.
Now, Ashley is the so-called registrar that made the decision saying it's likely vexatious. Ashley, Rod Cullerton, how you going?
Good, thanks, Rod.
I've just come across your email today and I've just rung I'm actually getting legal advice from a King's Counsel in Sydney and I've explained to him what we're doing because Mark McGowan and the Chief Health Officer is pivotal to our defence in this, and he's asked me to ask you where in the law where likely to be vexatious can be applied to these applications? Because I can't find it, and neither can he.
Yeah, so the Criminal Procedure Act gives no guidance in terms of refusals.
But likely, I've looked it up, it says either vexatious, frivolous, of no cause of action, but nothing is specific to likely to be.
Okay, so I've made that decision. I've given you the options on how you can appeal those. If the magistrate determines that that's something that shouldn't have been done.
Okay, so what he just said was he's made that decision and I've given you instructions how to appeal those decisions. But if he's not a registrar at law, how may it be a finding, a lawful finding? Because you can't appeal something that has no judicial power, no head of power that gives him the authority under law to make a determination. But you'll notice he'll switch.
I'll take that under notice when they make that decision, if that's the decision they make.
But is it actually
made.
But is it appealable? That's what we're trying to find out, because likely...
It is available to be reviewed.
Okay, there you go. I asked him, was the decision appealable? And then he said, it's open for review. Well, that's not appeal. Are you saying...
Is that Form 14?
Well, you've given me two forms now. You said one's a 1B and now 14.
Yep, so the 14 is if you want my decision that was made on the summonses to be reviewed. The second document that was done yesterday is a refusal to accept. So it hasn't, the summonses weren't accepted, they'll just refuse to be accepted.
Now, how would you be refused to call witnesses when now I've been given a unified witness list with about 20 police officers now being called, and yet we can't bring the two jokers, Mark McGowan, in his corporate capacity, and I must say there's another application that was made in his private, so we're doing one in his commerce and one in private. So one in public, one in private. On what ground? Yes, because don't forget...
The grounds are written on that form.
Yeah, but there were two... Ashley, please, there were two... I'm just trying to get... Because we're really running down... We've got to get 14 clear days to bring these witnesses, and they are key witnesses to our case, no question, right? And there were two applications made, one as a corporate sole, doing business as, and one that was in our... as a Vita individual. So are you saying you've knocked both of them back?
So on the first bundle that was provided, they refused, and that decision was given on the Form 9.
Yeah.
You've re-summoned or lodged new summonses.
Well, they're fresh summonses.
They refused to be accepted, and the decision on that is on the Form 61.
Okay, now can I just bring something...
Separate things that you can do in terms of having those decisions reviewed. You can either have the original decision on the Form 9 reviewed, which is to review by lodging the Form 14.
Well, hang on now. See, the appeal's gone out the window. The appeal's gone. It's all about review. There's no question, no mention of appeal.
Or the Form 61 refusal. You can seek leave of the magistrate to lodge those documents.
Okay, so now I've got to get the magistrate's consent to bring two vital witnesses for our defence. I mean, come on, this is where it's right out of control. But it gets better. Hang in there.
If they're lodged, they'll then be reassessed.
Okay. A reassess now. Reassess, not review, not appeal. Appeal, review, now down to reassessed. It's getting weaker as we go along. So can I just bring something to your attention? The other day there was a hearing on this matter. There was a hearing to bring in a witness, correct? It was to bring in Sergeant Chamberlain, former Sergeant Chamberlain, correct?
I can look that up.
Yeah. can I make an observation that that application was made in the name of police? I'm wanting to know why all the applications coming to this court are being changed from WA Police, West Australian Police Department and now police, and how they're getting a run in the court under when they keep switching the entities.
So those would be a matter for the magistrate that's made decision.
Okay, that is not a matter for the magistrate. So what we've been doing is we've been getting WA Police, West Australian Police Force, and now all the applications are just coming in police. And I understand that we've just got further notification that the prosecutor is now bailing this so-called application or trial, and they're getting in a paralegal. I mean, it's really diluting quite, it's coming down to nothing really.
On those matters.
Yeah, okay. But then you list them for hearing, Ashley. They've got to go over if you are the registrar, because that's what our King's Counsel is saying. Why has there been a change of the prosecutor? There's 3 names being run in this case.
Okay, I'm not aware of those applications. They haven't come
over your desk.
There are multiple registrars at this location.
Yeah.
And they're all empowered.
Yeah, okay. And the other question is, King's Counsel's asked me, are you a registrar at law? Are you a bona fide registrar at law, or are you a clerk of courts?
I'm appointed as a registrar under the Magistrates Court Act.
Okay, so you're a bona fide registrar at law.
Under the Magistrates Court Act, there's a provision in there that allows a principal registrar to delegate registrars. I've got a delegation as a registrar.
So you're only a delegated, you're not actually... So do you actually have a legal qualification? Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not a lawyer.
Then how may you be making these decisions?
As I've been appointed as a registrar.
I might appoint myself as a registrar tomorrow. Anyway, no worries. You have a good weekend. I'll deal with this, okay? Well, there you have it. I mean, not even qualified at law and making decisions on a very crucial matter, which is a criminal matter, why we can't call 2 crucial witnesses, the pretending Premier of Western Australia and the unelected so-called Chief Health Officer, Andy Robinson, as key witnesses to our case for our defence. And this is what I'm saying. So I just wanted to give you that. I'm going very well. I'm going to keep pushing on. I am the dog in the fight, whether you love me or hate me or whatever. But this needs to happen. But let me tell you this. You are the problem. I'm sorry. Because you are going and accepting you're putting your power of attorney into commerce. You are taking a contract with the major parties and putting them into power. I'm not saying everyone, because a lot of people voted for GAP. But if you look at Pauline Hanson, if you look at independents, you go right through the board, all these so-called individuals or persons, that's the best way to say them because they are corporate souls, are going to election campaigns, putting an offer out to the Australian people. The Australian people are voting through the acceptance and putting us into commerce, which is a republic. So when Labor Party want to come along and say we want to have a referendum to go to a republic, we are already in a republic. We have corporations controlling our lives because we're putting them there. So what we have to do is come back to English, understand where we stand in our jurisdiction, because if we go into commerce, then you don't have the protection. That court's not bound by clause 5 of our constitution, and it just goes out the window. I'm out on a railway track, and to the left of me is the correct railway track. If you notice, this one's this one on the left is Gun Barrel Straight, and this one on the right has got a bow in it like a banana. So this is the two jurisdiction. That one is common law, where our rights and our freedoms are granted under our founding deed of this great nation, which is the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 UK, which was passed by the United Kingdom Parliament. And this one is the bend in the road, well, in the track, that purports to be Australian law, and purports to be English law, I should say, but in fact is Australian law and is dealing with us in commerce. This is really important because this bend in the road is what they refer to as public, and if we were to go back under our common law, we would be subjects, and private would be in the private. So we wouldn't be subject to these, these disgraceful laws that are being put on us, and all the heavy burden of what it costs just to live today in this great society. Well, if you call it great. But look, this is fine if you're creating a corporation, you want to start a business, it's created under Australian law, well, so be it. But when it comes to our true law, you can't get much straighter than that. And that's where we've got to come back to the window. Australia. But if we put a bona fide parliament back there, which is down the hill, not up the hill, because that's the administration, no different to this magistrate being an administrator over my so-called trust, because they've got me in commerce, and then I'm the person that so-called person, which is a corporate soul, turns up and takes the hit for them. Whereas I need to be a vita individual, which I'm one of many people of the Commonwealth, going to court, standing with two caps in commerce for the purpose of saying, hey, I'm the beneficiary and I'm here to sort matters out against any claim that some administrator may have over my, which was not put to me, over my commerce identification, which is Rodney Norman Cullerton in all caps, or Cullerton in all caps with an underline. This is the nonsense. So trying to explain that the best way I can, but you can see there, because under commerce you don't obviously have to have a legal degree. I mean, there's nothing really sitting lawful. Our whole parliament's not lawful. I mean, the whole Australia's a shit show, and I've been saying that, and hasn't seen my maiden speech. I'll actually put a classic part of that maiden speech up on Facebook, so watch out for the next 24 hours. I will put that up. That needs to go up, because you can see I was on the money back then, okay? And I'd only sort of been fresh to Parliament, so it didn't take me long, and yet you've had other fellows there. I had George Christensen ring me not long ago and want to do a podcast with me about the Constitution. I said, George, you'd know the Constitution. You sat in Parliament for over 11 years. He said, no, to be honest, Rodney, I don't really. So all I'm saying is, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. We have to come back to the private. That is the mantra. That's my manifest that I'll be going out in 2023. I want you to become. I want you to have skin in the game, and I want and we can get remedy. We're going private. We are going private. We're coming out of the public, out of commerce, coming back to private, and we will lead the way so that you have your protection under your Commonwealth, and let's end the pain. Let's end all our profits going overseas with corporations under commerce. Let's keep it home where it belongs. Okay, it is after 5 o'clock. You know what time that is. And it's festive season, but once again, thank you. I just wanted to give you that. It is understood that they want to vacate the trial. I'll keep you updated. 9th of January, this so-called trial is going to run in Kalgoorlie. We've already been asked to drop the case if we plead a are not guilty. I'm not pleading anything until jurisdiction of first duty of the court has been dealt with, and until we can get our witnesses and there's procedural fairness and certainly no attempt at perverting the course of justice to withhold two crucial so-called witnesses. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. So that's just a fresh one on the state one, and I'll keep you updated with the federal matter, which is the Australian Electoral Commission. These are the two that I'm prepared to go to the very end and fight this out for the good of everyone for remedy. Okay, bye for now. Love you all, and keep watching because there's good stuff coming up in 2023. Bye for now.